Now we're going to go over the flight dates and the budgeting side of Qujam. This video is specifically going to go over drawn or sometimes called polygonal geofencing, like more traditional geofencing, as well as addressable geofencing. The event geofencing has a separate video and a separate page about the flight and the budget setup because it's a little bit different than the drawn and the addressable geofencing. So if you're setting up an event campaign, go ahead and check that video out instead. Now, we're going to go over a couple different things, but we'll start with the flight dates. When you're set up a new campaign, it will automatically grab the date that you are setting it up, or the first date that you're setting up. So if you have a campaign that you go back and you're editing, make sure that you update the start date as well too, because if you didn't change it and it's in the past, then it'll try to grab that. The next thing that it will also automatically do is leave the end date blank. If the end date is left blank, then it's going to just run continuously until you decide to stop it. That way, if you just like, hey, I just want to set it and forget it, don't want to worry about it, don't have any end date that I have to worry about, you can do so. So if I wanted the start date to be as soon as possible, you could put it as of today. Now, whenever you are trying to get something to run either today or tomorrow as soon as possible, I do like to note that we have a third-party partner that actually does a human check. We call it a quality assurance check, where they're actually making sure that you're adhering to laws, that the campaign's set up properly as well too. It's an extra step on our part, and it's really the only non-automated part of Qujam to ensure quality assurance. That said, your campaign is guaranteed to start within one business day unless there's an error or something that goes amiss. And the partner that we have does work on the weekends, but just keep that in mind that they're a little bit less staffed on the weekends, as well as USA-based holidays can cause a little bit of a delay. So one traditional business day is always a good rule of thumb, just to keep in mind. So if I wanted to start ASAP today, I can have it, be today, and someone at this time is most likely going to be able to get it launched as well. End date, I can select any end date that I want. So if I want to go to the end of the month, I can go ahead and hit select. And you'll notice down here that my options will change a little bit. I'll get to that a little bit later. If I'm like, you know what, I do want to just let it run, I can clear that as well too, and it goes back to running until you stop it. And this again adjusts. Now, let's say that I want to move out all the way to August 31st for this campaign and hit select. That way the campaign will end at that time. Now, the daily spend, actually, before I get into that, I do want to point out a couple of things. Choose your average daily spend. How much do you want to spend each day on average? Now, the system's really good at optimizing towards this, but, it might be $10.10 one day, $9.45 another day. It'll get really, really close to it and optimize towards that. Is it going to be $10 every day? No, because it's part of a live bidding system, but it will be close. This campaign's current daily max threshold on this particular campaign that I'm logged in at is $4,000. Not usually, it starts at $50 whenever you're first signed up. But if you do want to increase your billing threshold, you can always click here, and it'll take you to our billing threshold increase request form that you can fill out. We also monitor this, so if someone's having a lot of payments that go through and we deem them as a good paying customer, then we will often increase that at our own discretion as well. But if you're like, hey, I'm getting too many charges, can you help me out? Go ahead and find the billing threshold page on the website. Okay, now going into here, it does start with the daily average spend. You will note that initial daily budgets are just a placeholder, not a recommendation. So you really got to think about what the population is, how many geofences I have to kind of get an idea of what makes the most sense for my particular campaign. So instead of $10, I might need this to be $100 a day. And when I do that, you'll notice that we've actually enhanced some of this information breakdown to include daily average, estimated monthly average on 31 days. If it's February or a 30-day month, then that's going to be kind of different, but we do an estimate off of 31 days to make it as easy as possible. And then total estimate for a campaign. So if I have an end date, it can calculate that. If I don't have an end date and I hit clear, that's what changes. That gets removed because we obviously can't estimate a campaign that doesn't have an end date. So I'm going to go back and select the end of August again. So you can play around with it, select anything that you want in there. You can go all the way down to $1 if you wanted to as well. Something else that's interesting to note is for like OTT and video base and audio base, we don't include clicks. Not everything's clickable. Audio does come with companion banner ads. Video pre-roll is highly clickable. OTT is pretty much never clickable as well too. But that kind of skews the information that's on there, and it varies based off of different campaigns. So that's a bit of information that's really only reserved for display campaigns, which is the one that I'm in and setting up right now. All right, down here, we did include another option. So automatically adjust daily spend to meet your total budget. So if your total budget is this, then the system, and when it's on, this is recommended, the system will automatically adjust to have it go after this daily spend. Let's say, for example, you launch this campaign and you have your political campaign, you don't have the right political copy at the bottom of your ads. Our quality assurance team catches that, notifies you, you get it updated, but it takes a couple of days for you to update the creative and get it logged in. Well, if your start date is still the same, then this actually takes the overall budget and then divides it evenly across the remaining days. So that's basically what it means. So that way you know it's going to be this. Now, if you're like, hey, I don't care what's going on, I want it to optimize to be $25 per day as best that it can. Now, it might result in some underspending from the overall budget, as well as it's a little bit more conservative when you do that to just go after $25 and not go over it at a daily level, where when you're going after but you're spending your entire budget efficiently, that's where it comes into play, where it's like, well, it's a little bit over, I'll readjust for the next day and have it be a little bit under. And so if you're just going to have it be a $25 per spend, in this case, per day be the focus, you just uncheck this. And then you also get explanations of what this means down here as well too. But as you can tell, recommended is to go after the daily budget that you have on there. It allows the system to just optimize a little bit better. The last section on here is we do run promotions from time to time, and there are some coupon codes that will go out via our e-blast, social media. Sometimes we just reward customers that we have good relationships with as well too, especially if there's some like surveys that they fill out as well. But if you ever get a promotion code, this is where you enter that in, and then it'll be applied to your campaign as well too. And then once you do that, you just hit next and save to go to the next step. Or if you need to ever change anything, you can hit previous and save as well too. But that is the flight and the budget portion of the drawn geofences and addressable geofencing campaign setup.